Hey, what's going on, you crazy awesome manifestors? This is Jace with Watch Me Manifest My Dream Life Late Night Ramble. Got home a little while ago from driving, and full disclosure, I have had a beer and one other drink, so might be a little, like a little bit uh, buzzed, but not a lot. A little bit. But you know what I've been thinking is like, there's no way that I'm going to reach my dream life and have alcohol at all as a part of the picture. And I don't want to make any like overzealous promises to myself, but I think tomorrow I don't want to have any alcohol whatsoever. And I think even the next day I don't either. Beyond that, I don't really know, But I'm beginning to see that I'm on the precipice of moving in a very positive direction. And when you start to get like a vibe that your life is going in the right direction, it shines a light on the things that can keep you from going in that direction. And so it's like, I know that is holding me back. That is holding me back. And I want to out myself on that right now because I really want to unhook anything that is tying me down from experiencing better things in life. And I'm sure that, anybody out there, like, of course, you're going to see things in your life that are holding you back and keeping you buoyed, from moving towards what you want. So, one thing I was thinking about, so there's a couple of things that I wanted to put on this this video log. The first was about, so there was somebody in my car tonight and they were talking about they're an atheist and they don't believe in this or that or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. Quantify hate. Like, draw me a diagram of what hate looks like. And he's like, yeah, I can't do that. And I'm like, exactly, because it's an emotion. So you don't believe in anything that's not physical, but yet you are walking around in a human mechanism that feels things all day long. And those are all non-quantifiable things. Like, you can't quantify love or hate or draw me a diagram of how much you love your wife. You can't do it. You know what I mean? So how could somebody say they don't believe in anything that's not visible or tangible or whatever? It's just so weird. It's like you have been walking around with an entire emotional ecosystem inside your body that has nothing to do with tangibility. You can't touch it, you can't quantify it, but yet you feel things all day long. So I don't. Anyway, that was the first thing that I just had that thought and I just wanted to like record it. But what was the other thing? Yeah, definitely like late night rambling. No clue what I'm I have no like I have no strident agenda right now. Um, can't remember what the other thing was. I guess that's what happens when you get older. You forget shit like 5 minutes later. Uh, oh, I remembered. All right, so I took my mother on a date, a mother-son date, and it was in honor of my father because he loves oysters. So I took her to an oyster bar, and we had a really nice meal and a great time. But we honored my dad, her life partner, because he loved oysters. He waited for this place to open, and he died before they opened. So I wanted to take her there and have oysters to honor my father. So then she went to a meditation class. That's right. My 83-year-old mother goes to a Monday night meditation class. I can't believe it, but she's doing really good taking care of herself after losing her life partner. She's doing really good. And yeah, so I dropped her off at her meditation class. I was like, all right, well, I'll just do some rides and then I'll pick you up afterwards, like an hour and a half later or whatever. So I get a ride and I pick up this young girl, and she gets in the car with a violin case. And I was like, okay, well, I started playing cello when I was 4 years old. So we got conversation here, I want to find out. So I asked her, like, do you play the violin or the viola? And she said, it's a violin case, but I do play the violin, but it is an 17th century, I forget what she called it, but she's like, it's a 17th century stringed instrument. I'm a part of a medieval, like, music group or whatever. Later, I found out that she was playing in the music group at my mother's meditation. But so I pick her up and I take her to where she's going. And in the midst of us, we're talking about music, and I told her that I started playing cello at 4 and all that. So we started talking about that. And then we started talking about, I told her that I learned Suzuki method by Dr. Suzuki, who was a Japanese guy. And she's like, me too. I was like, what? I never meet anyone who learned classical music through Suzuki method. Never. So it was pretty cool. And then she's like, yeah, have you ever been to Japan? And I said, no. Japan is like my ultimate vacation destination. That is the next place I'm going. I'm putting money away right now to go to Japan. And I want to go to where, my teacher's hometown was. And she's like telling me about all these places in Japan. And then she goes, oh, yeah, my parents sent me over to school there when I was 13. And she was literally raised in the Japanese elementary schools learning Japanese, and it took her like 6 or 7 years, but she's fluent in Japanese. She was telling me about the different language derivations, like where it derived from and how it's all, and there's like 3 alphabets you have to, I was like, what? Because I do want to start learning Japanese, but I didn't know it was that complicated. I didn't know that about it. I didn't know they had 3 alphabets. And so she told me all about Japan. She's been there, she like lived there, was like grew up there in school. Unbelievable synchronicities, right? like unbelievable synchronicities. I've been wanting to go to Japan since I was 4 years old, since I started cello and learning from Dr. Suzuki. I have been wanting to go to Japan. And she told me all about it and where to go. And had the same stringed method teaching, which is very rare in the stringed instrument world to be taught. The Suzuki method is it's rare. It's like 1% of people that learn stringed instruments, maybe 2%, are taught the Suzuki method. Most people are just taught, read the sheet music and here's how you do it and, whatever. It was so bizarre. It was so bizarre. So what happens is all of a sudden, she's like, oh. And I'm like, what happened? She lost the ring, this ring that she had on her right hand from her grandmother, which is like an heirloom family ring. She lost it. It fell off her finger down where like the seatbelt clip thing is, right? And she couldn't get it out. She started freaking out, and I was like calming her down. This is like Uber driving on like a elevated level. So I'm calming her down. I'm like, don't worry about it. I will find it. I will get your ring. I'm not letting you walk away from the car without your ring. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I got it. Of course she was freaking out. She was freaking out. It's my grandma's ring. I can't get it out. I can't get it out. I'm like, let's get to where you're going, and then we'll look. I'll flip the seats around. We'll find it. We'll get it. And I get to where she's going, and she can't find it, and then I can't find it. And then we're using our flashlights, and we're looking under the seat, and I'm trying to pull the seat up, and like the seat's not coming up, and I can't. I'm flipping the back thing. I'm sticking my arm in there. And then after like 20 minutes after I was about to drop her off, and I just shut my apps off and everything. And I was like, we're going to find this, right? So 20 minutes goes by. We're doing this. We're looking, and we see the ring, and we're trying to like push it over, and we're just trying to get it out, right? And then near the end of it, I didn't know it was the end of it at the time, but near the end of it, I was like, look, you got like tiny arms. Like my arms are a lot bigger than yours. Stick your arm down there and see if you can get your fingers closer to it and pull it out. She puts her arm down there, feels around, she comes out, and the ring is on her finger. And I was like, she was so happy. She literally lunges at me, hugs me. Right, I didn't even find her ring, but she lunges at me, hugs me, and she's like, you have no idea if I lost that ring. I was like, first of all, you would never lose that ring. It's in my car. I would take it to the dealership and have them sift it out. Like, I would never let you go without your ring, And she's like, I can't believe you kept me so calm. She's like, I wasn't calm, but you were so calm, and you just seemed so sure about. You just seemed like you knew that I was gonna have it, and that calmed me down because I wanted to cry so many times, and I didn't because I was embarrassed. I don't know you, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't have to worry about that, And it was really cool. She kind of reflected to me just my natural, like, masculine self. Like, I just really appreciated that because I was calm and I knew we were going to get it for her. I wasn't going to leave until she had it. But she didn't know that. And when I drove away, that's kind of my afterthoughts was like, she didn't know that. She was in panic mode, and trying not to be in panic mode, but she was in panic mode. And my just knowingness, it's like I just knew there's no way I was going to send this girl home without a ring. I'd pull the seat off if I had to, and just give her the ring and then take you to the dealership and have them put the seat back in or whatever the fuck needed to happen. But I wasn't going to let her go home without that super meaningful thing to her, right? But she didn't know that. And it spoke to something about, men and women and like in relationships, it's a really important role that a man serves in a woman's life to be that pillar, to be strong, to be calm and directed in, a situation that for her feels like a storm, right? Like for that girl, I just thought about when I was driving away, I'm like, for her, that felt like just the worst, like the end of her life almost. She was freaking out. She was really freaking out. And that is the thing that happens with the masculine and feminine in relationships, is that the feminine freaks out all the time about little things, about a spider, right? And what does the guy do? The guy either kills the spider, or if you're like Steve Irwin, which kind of I am, I will get the thing and put it outside if I can. If I'm able to do that, I'll do that, because I respect all living life. Like I got a Steve Irwin in me in that way. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, like even the moths, we're trying to get rid of moths, and it's like, even the moths, sometime I'll like grab them and like go throw them outside, but then I've touched them and they're kind of fucked after that. But moths are hard. Moths are hard to save, because if you touch them, they're fucked. But in general, I feel that way about, everything. And that was a bit of a sidetrack, wasn't it? No, yeah. But it really was like a loud thing. Like it really was a moment that grilled something into my brain. The next time I'm in a serious relationship, I'm going to remember that moment, and that's kind of what my woman is expecting of me in any kind of crisis or controversy or dangerous feeling situation to her. Like what she's expecting from me is to, I don't even know why I'm going on this track, but it really stuck out to me, that situation afterwards. And that's the kind of person I am, right? Like most people would just be like, hey, the girl lost her ring and I helped her find a ring. All right, bada bing, bada boom, I'm gonna move on, go take another ride, all right. Like most people, I don't think would even think twice about that situation, but that's not like how psychosomatic I am. I have to analyze it and like to bring it into relationships and all this stuff. To like bring it into like all kinds of things. But it's literally just a girl lost her ring in my car when I was doing an Uber ride. But I turn it into like this philosophical fucking adventure. Crazy. Anyway, because I think everything really has meaning. I think you can learn from a lot of things in life, like even the really simple things in life. It doesn't matter if it's like a huge event or like a small interaction with somebody. Everything can teach you something that you need to learn in the moment. But you have to be that minded. You have to be minded that way. If you're not minded that way, you're not going to think about it. You're just going to be like, all right, let me go get a Big Mac now or whatever the fuck, you gonna do? But yeah, uh, that's it. I just wanted to ramble for a little bit at midnight or whatever time it is before I go to sleep. And I wanted to make sure that I noted those things that happened because I feel like today was like a significant day, but I have no idea why yet. I don't know why yet, but today felt very significant. You guys ever have days like that where you just feel like the whole day, like all these like nuanced but very powerful, significant things are happening, and you just feel like my life is like changing quickly. Like things are changing, in a way that I want them to. Anyway, I better shut the F. Ooh. I better shut the F you. I love all of you. Thank you so much. Anybody who watches, I really hope you get something out of this stuff. And I pray that I'm not I pray that I'm not doing this like for no reason, but that somebody benefits somewhere in the world. That's all I care about. I just want to benefit other people. I want people to do well in life. And I want to be an example of doing well in life. And I have a long way to go. Anyway, love you all. And super grateful. And yeah, we'll check in tomorrow. All right, later.